From Los Angeles, California, comes MC and producer XP The Marxman. Fresh off the release of his new album, The Barter System with Phonk P, produced by No Games, XP The Marxman continues his run as one of the most prolific and captivating artists in underground hip-hop. His recent On the Radar freestyle has brought even more attention and momentum to his movement, while XP continues his relentless media blitz of studio work, new visuals, and performances across the country. In addition to this new album, XP The Marxman has built a deep discography that includes See How She Runs, Black and Brown Business, XP Forever, Continua, Sparare, and many more. He's also collaborated with hip-hop heavyweights such as Roc Marciano, Termanology, Big Twins, Flea Lord, Rasheed Chappell, and more. Tune in if we talk about his journey in music, the making of his new album, The Barter System, and what he's got coming next on the Cristopolis Show number 296. From Los Angeles, California, comes MC and producer XP The Marxman. He just released a dope album with Phonk P entitled The Barter System. He's been on an incredible run, hitting up all the different media sources. We're going to bring him in, talk to him about his new album and his impressive career. Let's bring him in. Peace, peace,
Yo,
peace.
peace, brother. Peace, man. How you doing?
I'm good, my brother. How you doing?
I'm all right, man. Just hanging in there. Out here on the
Yeah.
East Coast right now.
You on the East Coast?
Yes, sir. I'm out here
Where
in New York, man. I've been out here for I want to say a few weeks, man. Just getting busy, doing the most I can.
We're gonna have to add something to the name, just like XP Worldwide, the Marksman, or like Global International Marksman, International Sniper.
I try to go everywhere, man. I try to be everywhere they ain't. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. How's everything with you, man? I know it's been a little minute since I've been on this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
brother. Yeah, brother. It's an honor to have you back on the Cristopolis Show, my bro. Your grind is
Appreciate you, man.
relentless. When you were on, I feel like, when we connected like a couple years ago, we've had kind of other moments because you jumped on the SoCal interview too, right?
Right,
But I'm
right,
always
right.
following your career and in awe of like not only like the grind, but the quality. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
appreciate you,
I,
man.
I interview a lot of I love hip hop and my playlist is people that I love, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm always steadily blown away by your pen, bro.
I
Straight
appreciate
up.
that, man.
Yeah,
I try
brother.
to elevate, man. It's just like uh Guru said, we try to update our formulas, man, and move with the times, So,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's just like athletes too, man. I feel like, athletes, physically peak, I feel, but like the knowledge I feel can exceed the physicality of things. And I feel like us, of course it could be physical, you have to be at a certain level, to perform and do
Yeah.
certain things at a certain level. But I think being a hip hop artist and being able to elevate your pen and just, delve into new, patterns, new beats. I think, you have to change, you have to elevate. And I feel
Yeah.
like it is a sport, we're just using the mind a little bit more than the physical body, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate that, dog. I feel like, every project, it gets a little deeper, it gets a little, so I'm glad you're listening to that, man,
Yeah, bro.
try to
Yeah,
provide
I
that.
mean, I'm sitting, I'm psyched, pumped up, like showing my wife. She's not into hip hop. I'm like, listen to what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? She's like, ah. I mean, she's been
I feel
around it
you.
so much that you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. She like gets it, but it's like those types of lyrics using the same, analogy of sports. There's an aspect to hip hop and I think to just the creative arts in general, but definitely for hip hop where there's a mentality also like maybe like that mamba mentality, and that's the parallel
yeah,
to sports where
definitely.
not only do you have to physically be in shape to like go out and like the breath control and the stamina to do a 1 hour show and the energy to keep the crowd live. In addition to that, there has to be a confidence
Yes,
and not only knowing your lyrics, not only to be able to manage a crowd or to manage the pressure of the cameras going and all of
yeah,
that stuff, right?
exactly, man.
And there's something, bro, with the On the Radar freestyle that's been going viral that you just crushed.
Thank you,
That like
man. Thank you,
my brother,
bro.
you're like in the zone 1,000%.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I feel like it's just years of experience, my brother. Like it's years of grabbing microphones and touching stages around the around the globe, and whether it's two people or 2,000 people, I feel like they're gonna get a good show, man. And I feel like carrying that energy into spaces like on the radar, you know what I mean? Like it's only inevitable for the people to really see the confidence and all the all the experience, because it's like an eye in the scope, it's like you're underneath the telescope and everybody's watching you. So it's like, yo, what are you gonna do with the ball? You gonna dunk this motherfucker, or you just gonna do a
Yeah,
regular shot? What are you gonna do? So I think when you are in those moments of snatching history and like letting people know who you are, and you got this platform maybe that a lot of people are hip to and tuned into. I think you do have to go in there with the confidence and in there with the you know the respect for all your hard work, and I just right before I went in there, I saw roam streets and like I'm seeing all these elite artists and shit, and like I'm there kind of questioning my own ability, but at the same time I'm like, yo, like the hard work, the dedication, the skill led you here, so all you got to do is
yeah,
just do what you've been doing. And I think in instances like that, maybe you may overthink, you'll tend to be like, oh shit, like, but it's like, it's really just, be yourself, man, and do what you always do,
yeah,
and once you get into that space, it's just like, you know, you get into that flow state, where you're
yeah.
just kind of locked in and you're just letting people know what you do and how you do it, and they take it for what it is, man. But yeah, I appreciate that, brother. I think I kind of been on like a world tour since last year, I feel, man, because I just been
Yeah, because like you
going
haven't
here.
stopped since January. Like you were in Europe, you were in Spain, you were in
Yeah,
France.
all that,
Rocking
bro.
these joints, the porcelain plate, and all. This album, right?
Right.
Watch her run,
Yeah.
and you
Josh,
get, yeah, and you get to on the radar, and you could feel that experience,
that's what I'm saying,
right?
man. See, yeah, so that's what I wanted to provide. Like, I wanted to let the people know that I've been doing this shit. This is what I do. And I think from that experience, I feel a lot of people tapped in, a lot of new fans, a lot of new people that were like, yo, like, where's this kid from? I'm repping LA. So, and then I think the sound I provide, it's not normal LA Chicano rap shit.
Yeah,
I'm doing shit from, um, it's from a different terrain, but
yeah.
I
LA
represent.
has a sound that it's
Right.
known for, right? And then especially right now, Chicano rap, Latinos and rap, the LA Latino experience is big. But people are killing it right now. But you've always been a different lane, and you're killing it in that lane. You're killing it in every lane.
Appreciate
You
it.
know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate it. Yeah, I think one thing I really try to do is incorporate my Chicano background and me being from LA and all that I do, so
Yeah,
I don't necessarily have to rap Chicano to represent it.
yeah,
And also, there's not too many swimming in the water that I'm in that can represent it like that,
yeah,
so I'm doing
yeah.
it from a higher standard, I feel, so I feel like, having this momentum behind me with the tour and all the energy behind it, carrying it into all the shows that I have out here. I actually have a show this weekend in Massachusetts. It'll be my first show out there, so I'm looking
Oh,
forward
that's
to that.
dope. Is it like
Yeah.
around like the Boston area?
It's in Lynn,
Okay.
Massachusetts. Shout out to my man, 1,000 Words. He put that
Yeah.
together. You know what I mean? A lot of dope
They're
artists.
heavy in that him that thousand words and those
Yeah,
cats
yeah, man. That's my
making
man.
moves
He
out there.
introduced me to a lot of people, in the ecosystem that I'm swimming in right now. So it's been amazing, man. I feel like I have a lot of individuals looking and, you know, tapping into what I'm doing right now, and, you know, they just want to help me. So I'm down with it, man. You know, anytime anybody wants to pass me a lob, I could, you know, I could dunk that bitch, like shoot it my way,
Yeah.
man. You know, because I've been in the gym, dog, and I've been training. I've been in the dojo training. So I feel like any opportunity that I'm gonna be provided to let people know what time it is, I gotta go all the way in, man. You know,
Yeah.
that's just what it
Well, and
is,
those
dog.
cats know who the talent is too. You know what I'm saying? So they're not just giving the ball to anybody. You know, they're tastemakers. You know what
Right,
I'm
right,
saying? They
right,
know. They know who's up next. They help to put who's up next,
right,
all of
right.
that, you know?
And I felt blessed, man, you know, to see that email while I'm overseas and shit. Like, hey, you know, you've been invited, and I know it's a platform where, you know, you can't hit them up. It's like, you know, it's like your platform. Like, you reach out to fools. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure you
yeah.
got
I
hella
don't. People
fools.
always try to pay me,
Yeah,
and
so I'm saying
that
they
you
want
know
to pay you,
they
they
want
want
to
to hit
pay me to
you,
get
they
on,
want
and
to
it's
do
like, nah,
this. Yeah, bro.
this is hip hop, bro. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like this is. But I love that. I know what you're talking about on their page. It says by invite only. I love that shit so much. I considered putting it. You know what I'm saying? I was
Nah,
like,
for
nah.
real. Nah,
You know
for
what I'm
real,
saying?
man.
I
Like,
was like, that's their thing. But I do the same thing. But I love that they
yeah,
put it there in all
right,
caps.
right.
Invite only.
Because man, I feel like it's one of those things where anybody could pay to play. Anybody could, you know, be put from number 10 to number one if you know they got a bag, bro. But I feel like platforms like yours on the radar, like there's certain ones out there that, you know, they don't obligate what they're trying to build just for
Yeah.
a bag, you know. And it's the same thing that we do as artists with the music as well. You know, we're not you know, we're not trying to put anything out there that is, you know, going to, you know, go against what we're really trying to do. Is just,
Yeah.
you know, be authentic and do this shit from the heart, man. But yeah, G,
Yeah.
it's been a glorious run. I would say it's been a
That's
glorious
so
run.
dope, my
I
brother.
still got the rock
You're,
in my arm too, and I'm, you know,
yeah,
I'm
you're not
still,
done.
I'm not done, bro. I
The
still got the
season's
rock in my
early.
arm.
The season's early,
It
bro.
is, bro. It is for
That's
sure, man.
dope. A couple of shout outs to the cats I see tapping in. Cash Warner,
Cash
Mr.
One, it's my
Forge.
man.
I saw Phonk P in early, and that's a perfect segue.
What?
You got a new album, an album with Phonk P. You
Yes,
guys
sir.
have rocked together, you know, before. That's the homie. The Barter System.
The
Talk to us
Barter
about that
System.
album and how it came together.
First off, I want to say free my brother Funkster. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That, like, as soon as I met that dude, it was, you know, a few years back. A thousand words introduced me to him in my own city. You know what I mean? But we just hit
That's
it off,
dope.
man.
You know what? You know a brother's connected when he's connecting you with fools in your own city, and he's from out of town.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, and he's he's always been that kind of conduit, you know, with me. But yeah, man. You know, Phonk P. He's from, you know, neighboring neighborhoods where, you know, me and my family are from, and real LA street shit, you know. And this music, man, was a culmination of tracks that we had uh in the stash for maybe I want to say like 4 to 5 years, bro. And we've
Wow.
always wanted to do the barter system. We had the name early on. We had everything. Just add into it. Whenever we would link, you know, we, you know, pop a couple tracks off and add it to the, you know. So it was just almost like that. I feel like it wasn't anything that was you know, uh like a pre-thought out album. It was just
Yeah.
like, we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna make this music. And since, you know, he happened to get in the situation he's in right now,
Yeah, so that's
it
the
was
thing that
just
I think is so interesting because you already had the name for the album before his situation right now.
facts, bro. Facts. We pretty
That's
much had everything,
crazy.
man. And him and his family, you know, they hit me up. It was like, yo, we need to drop this music, man. And I was overseas, you know, but it was a thing to me, man, because, you know, that's my brother, bro. And I know if the shoes were on the opposite end, bro, like, and you know, I wanted some music released, and I can't really do much.
Yeah.
You know, my man's, he could take the wheel, and I trust my man, you know, to make it happen and everything. So yeah, bro, I just, you know, I got my man No Games in on it, because what it was we didn't have any of the sessions. It was like rough MP3s that we kind of had in the cut that
Yeah.
they sounded, you know, decent. So I shot all the music over to my man No Games, and he was able to do what he does, try to make the best of what we had, and you know, he added a couple skits and he did his thing, man, and I feel happy with it, dog. I feel like it gives, you know, my man Phonk uh a breath of fresh air, you know, just, you know,
Yeah.
being locked behind and having this circulating outside, you know, it gives him a second wind of air, bro. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. It sets the stage for when he comes out.
right,
He's
right,
ready.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
like, yeah, it sets him up, you know, for the next play.
We're still gonna drop music videos too and shit like that. You know, we can't do too much, but it'll be some AI shit. You know,
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah,
make it
yeah.
look we're gonna make it look dope and shit, man. So we got some ideas and stuff, but it's a good album, dog, and I feel personally it has that hip hop shit happening for it, but it also has that West Coast
Yeah.
street shit too. You know, and
Yeah. Yeah, I
it's a
love his
good,
sound. I love his flow. And he's got such a reminiscent, like old school West Coast flow to me. You know what I'm saying?
definitely,
Like you
definitely,
just
bro.
can't miss his dope.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean,
It's
you
funky.
know, he's a spitter, bro, and you know, I give him a lot of respect, dog, because you know he can move all across the board with the music, man. You know,
Yeah.
he can do the new shit, old shit, but one thing you got to respect the pen, man. Like he like the first time I ever heard him, man, it was one of those things where I was like, yo, like I want to work with him, like off bat. But once he hit me, he was like, yo, man, let's do it. It just, you know, that's how you
That's
get the
so
barter
dope.
system, dog. If that's exactly how you get the barter system, he just hit me. Hey, man, I'm at the studio. Hey, I'm here at the studio. Once you pull up, and it just, you know, and now you got the barter system, bro. So, but yeah, bro,
Yeah, it's
that's what it
dope because
was.
the cover's got like you're passing like an album and you passing some smoke. Right? It's like I got the studio system, you come through with the smoke.
To trade, man. You know,
Yeah.
even exchange, bro. You know, the barter system. It's an old system that has been implemented for years. You know, for artists, for street shit, for, you know, food and goods, and so I think with music, ultimately, we've been using this, you know, for generations, man. Where, you know, I think you're dope, I'm dope. Let's make something happen with what we
Yeah.
got, you know. So
That's dope.
that's what this
The
was.
intro, him on the phone call, he's calling you from inside. That phone call really happened?
That's some real shit, bro. And that was like half of it. That was half of it. I mean, I think I wish we would have used a little bit more, but maybe we still could. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because, and from what I remember, there's still a few joints that we have that we didn't put on this that I think maybe he forgot about or I forgot about, because my homie Dome Piece was actually out there and he was like, yo, I jumped on a track with you fools too while I was like, you did? He's like, yeah, bro, I remember this shit was hard. Like, so I know there's some shit out there in the cut still that we haven't released.
On
So, you
somebody's
know,
computer.
it's, yeah, it's, I know once, you know, he's able to touch, you know, free ground. I know he'll be able to go through his shit and really see what he has. And maybe there's a couple joints in there, you know, we could drop and shit like that, man. But,
Yeah.
you know, a free Phonk P, bro. That's what it is, dog. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
bro. Yeah, yeah.
Hold up.
That's dope. It's a dope project. I really enjoyed listening to it. It was great
Appreciate
to
that.
see you connecting with also with him and No Games because you just had an incredible run with No Games. You know what I'm saying? So to hear, you know, you and him, you know, some more producers, but you and him with Phonk P, it's kind of connecting like the XP universe, right? Because you've done
Yeah,
other
yeah,
work
bro.
with Phonk
Yeah,
P, right? And
yeah.
you got this good run with No Games right now, so it's like dope to connect all the pieces.
And it was cool because once, you know, we wanted to release the music, I was actually on tour, so I was actually with No Games, and I gave him the rundown while I think we were on a run, you know, to do a show. I was like, hey man, I have this, you know, I got, you know, this whole thing. This is what it is. It's like, psh, shoot it my way. And then once the tour was over and you know, he got to settle in a little bit. I think it was not even a month later or something like that. He had it ready for us, you know. So
That's dope.
you know, shout out to No Games, man, because you
Yeah.
know, me personally, like I'm an artist, but ultimately, like I tried to put it together, but to add new beats, to add skits, and to do all that kind of stuff, I
Yeah.
knew that we needed No Games, you know, to come
Yeah.
in and add his expertise to it, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah. You're a producer. You make dope beats but there's something about like certain cats are the way with the engineering that you are with the pen.
right,
Right? There's
exactly, bro,
good and then
exactly,
there's elite. Right?
exactly, man. Yeah, and you know, I felt bringing him in on it. That was the best idea that I could have brought to it. You know, just to add it and him do what he does, and I'm happy with it, man. I think it's a dope album. You know, I hadn't dropped since See How She Runs, but we did a whole tour behind the project. So once it dropped, we hopped on tour and we went and toured the album. So I
Yeah.
think I
You've been on
think that
tour. You're kind of doing the classic model. The classic model is you drop an album, you promote it for 2 years. It used to be 2 years.
that's what I'm saying. I feel like that whole is like that whole thing is out the window because I feel like a lot of artists can't really tour like that. You know, maybe they got streaming, maybe they got the vinyl game on lock where they're pumping out vinyl good, but when it comes to actually touring and like locking in shows,
Yeah.
getting a nice run and doing your whole it isn't easy, it isn't glamorous, but it's beautiful, man, because
Yeah.
I'm actually with the people, like I'm not
Yeah.
flying to my room. I'm at my room, I go to the venue, I'm in the green room, I go perform, I'm back in the green room, I go right back to my room, and then I'm out of the country. Like I'm nah, bro. I'm like chilling in the town for a week. I'm like meeting the venue owners. I'm meeting the promoters. I'm meeting all the local ill artists, all the ill producers, the
Yeah.
local spots to eat. So it's like I'm enjoying life while I'm actually working as well. So it's like it's an ecosystem that I'm building. It is a universe. It is. It
Yeah.
is. It is
And you've been building it for a long time because you've been to
long time,
Europe
bro.
a lot. I mean, you've been to Europe many times over the
Many times.
years,
Yeah,
dating
yeah,
back
man.
over a decade of like you
For
just
real.
going on tour and to France and Spain, and other places. But those two you've gone to like a lot. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got homies, you got real homies out there, real
I got
fans.
brothers, dog. I got, like if I'm in a jam, bro, I could be like, let's go. It's like, it's not even about the music at this point anymore. It's like they enjoy my company. I enjoy theirs.
Yeah,
We hit hikes in the Alps.
that's crazy.
We hit the swimming pool, to get some, so it's like really enjoying life while I'm doing work, man. And
Yeah,
like I said, I've been here on the East Coast, enjoying the city, and just being from the West Coast and doing the kind of music I do. Just walking outside, opportunities just arise, bro. You just meet
yeah,
somebody. Hey, you're from. Oh yeah, you did this. Such a. Oh boom. Hey, I'm doing this. You want to be a part of this? You're like, okay, let's go.
yeah,
And so New York is that, bro. It's like you know, as a kid coming from LA, living out here now, I would say just for the time being, I guess it's been a blessing, man, to
yeah.
come to the like
The Big Apple.
the Big Apple with like
Yeah,
dreams of music and hip hop and being able to wiggle and do the shit that you've always dreamt
yeah,
of doing. I think ultimately that's the payout. The
yeah,
money's cool, the money's good. Hip hop trickles in. I still work a job. I travel out. I bust my ass and shit. But at the same time, I love what I do, man.
yeah,
And I also like to chill when I want to chill. So when I bust my ass and I get back to a space where I could chill, like I chill hardcore. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
I was just out there, doing this, that, all this other shit. But now I could chill. I could focus on the music. I could do more in the studio. So it's in spurts, man. And I know from a distance it looks like I'm constantly doing shit, but I'm not a machine, bro, and I can't do it alone. I have a team, bro. I got homies
yeah,
that help me out. I got homies that help me do my graphics, that help me upload my music, that help me strategize a game plan, so it's more than just myself, dog, especially with you know, the new project, man, like the barter system, like it wasn't just me. I had help,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like just to be able to have individuals all shoot at the same target that you're shooting at and they believe in your shot and everything, I feel like that's the ultimate, dog, you know. But you have to create that, and how you
Yeah.
create that is if you believe in yourself and you go hard and like, yo, like this kid believes in himself. Like I
Yeah.
want to, you know, I believe in myself too, and whatever he's shooting at, I'm shooting at that same shit too. Like maybe we could shoot at the same target. I can help him out, and I think
Yeah.
through years, I think,
Boy, you gotta drop some bangers too. You're doing that also. You gotta have some
yeah,
good
yeah, yeah,
songs
for
up in
sure,
there.
for
You know
sure,
what I'm saying?
for
You
sure,
got
yeah,
some
yeah,
dope lines up in there too.
yeah, for sure, man.
I don't give a fuck about a grown man's feelings. Thanks.
Yeah, man. You know, we be talking that shit. You know, we be talking that
I'm all
shit.
in the front with the burner. Right? Smoking on some shit that these rappers ain't heard of. Come on, bro. You killing it. You killing it.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's
Hell
that's
yeah.
that's dope. Tell us how you connected with No Games and that relationship, because that album that y'all, the one you just dropped, that he helped you with, Phonk P, that joint is dope. But the one that you've been touring, right?
Word,
The
word.
the end of the 2025 project,
Yeah,
right,
to
with
see how
Fortune
she
and
runs.
Plates. That joint is such a banger. That album
Thank
is
you,
so
brother.
good, top to bottom.
You know what? Like, I love this particular project because it was all like in the flesh. I think two joints I recorded when I was living in LA, and then the rest were when I was on tour the first time, and I was pretty much in the lab cooking all that shit up, bro. And like
Wow.
this studio, it doesn't have an elevator. He's on the top floor, so we smoke, so up and down, up and down. That's why, like,
Like how many floors?
it's like maybe like 3 to 4 floors, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, every time.
Wow. Yeah, so it's like maybe 5 floors or some shit like that, something like
Damn.
that. But it's like like every time we smoke, we're like half an hour, boom. So it's like there was a lot of physicality that went into this album. It wasn't, and my personal life, it was really in fucking shambles to say the least.
Yeah.
But a lot of that went into this album, man, and I think people hear it, and I think No Games, I don't think he meant to do it, but he kind of strayed away from the drumless shit. I mean, there's maybe one or two joints on there that are kind of drumless a little bit, but
Yeah.
for the most part, all the shit has drums in it, very intricate loops,
Yeah.
hooks, we did hooks on there. It isn't all just scratch hooks, I'm like
Yeah.
singing on this shit. So it was, for me, I felt it was like a time for me to really go into my artistic mode and just do what I was, thinking at the time and really wanted to feel at the time. I didn't really, you know, I didn't pull any type of punches on it. It was just really me and No Games in the lab just cooking up, bro. And we do like 2 to 3 joints a day. And then I go back,
Wow.
I'll finish up whatever I had the day before, and then we do another 2 or 3. So it was
Wow.
it was it was a nice workflow. And then even this last tour, man, like we cooked up a few joints, like we have a nice little EP now, just from us up
Right.
and
Being
down,
on the road
cooking up.
together.
Yeah, we actually released a single. One of them I did on the radar, which was like an exclusive joint. So we cooked that up right before I came back to the States. So we kind of had it, and I had to memorize it and do it, and it worked out perfectly, man. So yeah, bro, we work super well together. I think No Games is one of those gems coming out of the European area where, you tap in with him early right now, you might want to do that, bro, because he's and he's super locked in with Seb Bash. You know Seb?
Yeah, yeah. You've worked with him
DJ Seb?
before.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
they actually live in the same town in Switzerland. So they're from the same area, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we're just like hermits in the lab, just cooking shit up. And this little small Switzerland town and shit, you know. So
That's wild.
it's super crazy, bro. You pull up there, you would never know these fools are like in these fucking underground little. I swear to God, bro. Like every lab besides no game
Yeah,
shit
because
is
you were
like
going into
underground.
studios out. You've been, and that's what you need to do, like almost like a picture book or something. There's all the studios you've gone to.
For
Because you had
real
a
though.
post just the other day, and it was like in another studio, and you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they're all different.
yeah,
Bunker
bro.
Studios and
I've been in some spaces, man. Like I'm blessed, you know, to say, hey, like no matter where I go on the planet, like I lock in with somebody that has a studio, and they're like, yo, whenever you want to record this, you know, I'm like, all right, fuck it, add it to the list, you know, like
yeah,
add it to the list, like like basically everywhere I go, like I lock in with the homie that has the lab, and he's like, hey, bro, like whenever you need, you know, I make beats, we can work, whatever. So yeah, man, this last tour I locked in with one of my homies out in uh France, and his name's Les Chemist, and he's like a legendary a producer from out there, and you know, like it's crazy because we come from our hip hop
yeah,
scene,
because they got their own whole hip hop
oh,
universe, like their whole
they have
mythology of
they have their alchemists, they have their
yeah, yeah,
DJ
yeah, yeah,
premieres, they have their Drakes, they have bro, and every country has this shit. And it's like if you're not tuned in and locked in, you'll never know, bro. And it's crazy
yeah,
when you touch down and you meet these fools, they introduce you to a whole world, bro. It's like, oh shit, like, all right, like these fools they got it cracking out here, like, you know, so it's just all about leaving where you're from, linking up with fools, and you know, at this point, I think having these international projects with these certain artists is just adding to my ecosystem, dog. You know what I mean? And it makes it way more better when I go back again too, because then oh
yeah.
shit, you drop some shit with such, and then more people come, more people show up. So it's just you have
Yeah, because
it's just
you had the joint, the XP Forever with
yes,
the
yeah.
European cat too,
Exactly, bro.
and
And
I
he
love that
composed,
album, bro. I
and
love that
he's a
album.
composer, bro. It was his only hip hop album he's ever done,
Wow.
and he'll ever do. Because they asked him like, "Yo, would you like?" He's like, "I don't want to do anything else no more. I just wanted to do it with him. That was it." And now he's like, and if you look at his page, he's doing wild shit, bro. He makes like
Yeah,
movie scores and all this wild shit. So,
yeah.
you know, I'm
He's a musician for real, right? Like
super. He plays everything. He plays everything
yeah.
all around the board. He plays the piano. Yeah, he's just he's
And
a
he loved your
instrumentalist.
voice and your energy, and he had an idea, and y'all did XP Forever.
You know what it was, bro? So there was a producer out of the UK. Shout out to my man Agor. He grabbed something of his, chopped it up. He made a beat. I liked it. I jumped on it. We released it. The homie Forever Pavitt heard it. He hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, you used one of my, you know, and
Right
all this
at
stuff."
first, you're like, "Am I gonna?" You know what I'm saying? Like
I
the
was
whole
like,
sample,
I
right?
was
Get
yeah.
on
I
your
was like,
nose,
"Oh
like
shit!" Like, all right,
block,
you know, like, yeah,
block.
bro. I was like, oh shit. But honestly, he was like very interested. He's like, yo, man, this shit is dope. I like it. He's like, would you want to do a album with me? Would you want to do it? I was like, fuck it, hell yeah, you know. So we made that shit shake. And last time I went to Paris, not this time, but I got to meet him. I picked up my vinyls. We did a photo shoot. He doesn't speak any English. It was like the first time I met this fool in the flesh, and I have a whole album with this fool. You know, it was it
That's
was
so
so cool,
crazy.
man.
He's like a French mad scientist composer.
Bro, he's a mad scientist, bro, and so and it's also the same thing with Roc Marciano too. Like he doesn't work with everybody, you know.
Yeah,
He's not trying to, you know. So I feel super blessed in that realm to be able to work with a lot of individuals that you know really do what they do and they do it well.
yeah,
And you know, for them to work with other fools, you got to be doing it well too, man. So I've
yeah.
been blessed in that nature, man. You know, to be able to you know work with these elite artists, man. You know,
Well, like in LA, you're a legend, and in LA,
I
people
appreciate
like
that, bro.
support each other and help each other, and there's a real community, you know, And that's why people beef so hard too, right? Because it's for real. You know what I'm saying? But you've gotten so much love even outside of LA. Like, we were talking about Roc Marciano, Termanology, Flea Lord, the Lord Mob, Rasheed
Right, right.
Chappell, right? Goes on and on and on. All the people.
You know,
You're on the East
Excel
Coast right
recipes.
now.
Nah, facts, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think, I'm always willing to hop on joints with individuals that, are better than me, bro, because that's just gonna make me better, homie, So, that's always been the level up, is just working with people that are gonna put me in a space to do my best work,
Yeah.
and if I could keep that pressure on me throughout my whole career, then I think I'll be fine, bro. Like, I never want to see myself as the illest individual in the room, bro, because then I'm in the wrong room. I want to be able to learn. I want to be able to see how this fool writes, and like, so
Yo.
I'm always a sponge, and I'm always a student, bro. I appreciate LA looking at me as, like, one of them ones that's holding it up, for the
Yep.
city and shit, man. And but I had to leave LA, dog, to really let individuals know what time it is, bro.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty much where I'm at right now, dog. I'm repping LA on a worldly level,
Yeah.
um, national level. And I think at this point, you either rock with me or you don't. And there's really no gray area. You can't say,
Yes,
oh,
sir.
like, XP's tight, but da-da-da. But it's like, either, XP's sick, he's holding it down, I see what he's doing, dog, he's fucking killing it, or, you know what, I don't really rock with that fool.
Yeah.
Why, whatever. He fucked my bitch or some shit. I don't know. Whatever. I don't
There's
fuck
always
with
gonna
this
be
fool.
haters, bro. They need a job. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep them employed. Haters gotta hate.
I don't really be paying attention to that shit though, man. Like, I'm
Yeah.
I'm you know what they say, it's like don't try to prove everybody wrong. You want to prove everybody right, So it's like, all the fools that are
Exactly, man.
rocking with you, all the fools that, like, those are the fools you want to focus on. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not out here trying to see who's not rocking with me and trying to prove it. Like, I don't give a fuck about that, because I'm
Yeah.
gonna do what I do regardless. You know what the sun does? That
Yeah.
shit's gonna come up, and that shit is gonna shine regardless, bro. So whether it's a cloudy day that day, the next day, shit, even all week, even all month, but sooner or later that motherfucker's gonna pop out, bro. And I
That's
feel
right.
like that's
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 right.
just what it is, bro. You gotta keep moving with it, bro. It is a marathon,
Yeah.
Nipsey said it best, bro. This shit is not like a sprint, because that's how you burn out quick. I know a lot of fools that I began with, they're not here no more, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just all about the consistency with it, man. It's just all about consistency and working on your craft, to get to the next level. So when individuals like yourself heard my shit, 10 years ago to now, you're like, yo, XP's elevated. He's moving up,
Yeah.
Like, so I think ultimately, man, the more you work at something, the better you become at it. And that's just with anything, man. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I can tell you, it really makes me happy. Like, right now we're talking about you, but really it's like anybody that, like, if I, you know, enjoy somebody's art, whatever it is, and then like life's happening, and then some time passes, and then you come across something else, and
Yeah.
it's like they're fucking still killing it. That shit makes you feel so good. It makes
No, for sure. For
you're like
sure,
you're
man.
like yo, this, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch the Dodgers go back to back, right?
No,
One
for
time
sure,
is
man.
amazing, but back to back, to watch
Yeah.
XP go back to back to back to back, that shit is fucking phenomenal.
I appreciate that, man. I wish, I wish that for all my homies that rap, dog. I wish, because
Yeah.
I know how hard this, every artist has their own idea of success. Everybody has their own, kind of timeline. And if you would have asked me, I would have thought I would have blew up years ago when I was a young,
Yeah.
naive, and I dropped my first mixtape. I'm like, yo, like,
This
yeah,
is
bro, we about
it.
to pop
This
off,
is
bro.
it.
This is
Hey,
it.
y'all
Yeah,
better get
bro.
this right now.
Man, and it's like, for every time I've hyped myself up and then let myself down in the same sense, I feel like that's what this shit is, man. It's a roller coaster, dog. It goes up,
Yeah.
it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Like, I even have fools tell me like, yo, man, when you drop the Roc shit, I thought you were out of here. I'm like, what's your idea of out of here, bro? Like, I'm
Yeah.
touring. I'm 40 years old. Like, I'm touring. Like, what's
Yeah.
your idea of success for me?
Yeah.
You
You
know what I
can't
mean?
go on a
Like,
hip hop site and not see me rapping right now.
that's what I'm saying,
Like
bro.
I'm
It's like,
everywhere.
that's like, you know, for me at least, like, it's all about your own idea of success, and like, do not let other people's idea of success or their own success be an image on you, and you know, you look at it maybe like, oh shit, maybe, you know. And I feel like this IG shit, it's easy for fools to really get lost in that sauce, bro, by
Yeah.
looking at other fools and what they're doing. But dog, there was hella times where I didn't look up. I was fucking in my lab, my home studio, for years, dog, just penning
Yeah.
shit, writing shit, creating shit.
That's
And
dope.
I think that's what artists really need to do, dog, is they need to keep their head down, and they need to be in the dojo, and they need to just make beats, write, whatever their craft is, keep their head down and just fucking create, bro. Because once you start looking up and you start looking at what this fool's doing, how, oh shit, like, it's easy to get lost in that sauce and think, oh, I'm not doing shit. I'm not doing shit compared to what, you know. It's easy
Yeah.
to fucking to see that, you
Yeah,
know.
you
And
gotta
then
run your game.
you got to run your game. You got to run your own race, dog, your own pace,
Yeah.
you know. And you know, you take a break, but don't give up. You know, it's
Yeah.
you know, there's a really thin line between taking a break and giving up. You know, there's a
Yeah.
super thin line, because you take too long of a break, you're gonna have to start from the beginning
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
you know? And so, you know, it's like, bro, it's just like anything else, man. Like, you know, this shit takes money, it takes time, it takes blood, sweat, tears, dedication, and it's all depends on you as an artist, what you feel your idea of success is. You
Yeah.
know, me personally, having my own vinyl in my hands and being able to say, hey, I could take this shit and tour it and fucking do it live for people, and they'll want to buy it and hear it. Listen, like, I'm blessed, dog. Like, I'm not rich.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, of course, I wish I could wake up in the morning and yo, like, you know, I'm straight. I could take care of my family, but dog, like I said, I still be out here hustling under the sun,
Yeah.
working my ass off so I can make this shit crack, bro. You know, and
Yeah.
I've made a lot of, you know, sacrifices, you know, for it too. And, you know, at the end of the day, man, you know, I feel like, me personally, to have people like yourself want to interview me, hear what I have coming out, knows my history. This is what it's about, dog. You know,
Yeah.
for me at least, because I
Yeah.
do this shit. I do this shit for myself ultimately, just so I don't, you know, lose my mind in this motherfucking
Yeah.
world. You know, with all the
Yeah.
crazy shit that, you know, has happened to, and I think every artist uses it in their own sense, man. It's a sense of having an identity, having, you know, the, you know, the faith to like see shit through.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a man's quest. You know, it's like
Yeah.
where you like, you go off into the forest, bro, and when you come back, you're the leader of the wolf pack and shit. You know, you fucking got, you know, you over here, you know,
Yeah,
you
you
survived
got the
that shit.
wolf, you got the
You got the
wolf
wolf pal, you
jacket
got this,
and
you know,
the
you fucking
necklace with the teeth,
all that shit,
some
bro. And it's like,
stars.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Some, you
Yeah.
know, missing an eye, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you came back, bro, and it's like you told these fools
Yeah,
who
and you're
you
not the
were.
same guy who left.
Exactly, you're not the same guy who left, and before you left, you told all these fools what you were gonna become and what you were gonna do. And when you came back, that's exactly what you did, bro. And fools have
Yo.
no other choice but to respect that shit, bro. Because
Yeah.
that's what it takes, homie. It takes, like, man, you know, and you know, dog, this shit will leave you broke, lonely, scared, fucking all that shit, bro.
Yeah.
And
But at the same time, stages in Europe, stages,
all
in New
that shit.
York, and respect of your peers, and
Exactly,
a
bro.
legacy that's gonna outlive you, right?
Exactly.
So
That
all
part,
that.
bro. That part, bro. You know, and it's like, you know, you know, nothing worth keeping will come easy. You know, like if you want some shit, like, and it's worth keeping, like, that shit is not gonna be easy. I don't give a fuck what it is. If it's a relationship, or a piece of gold, a car, like, you know, if you want something and you're gonna do it yourself, that shit is not gonna come easy. You know, so
Yeah.
anything worth having and holding, that shit is gonna take work. It's gonna take, you know, criticism. You know, you're gonna hear it from all around, bro. Like, but I think, you know, once you get over that shit of like, yo, like it's not what I do anymore. This is who I am.
Yeah.
Then it becomes that whole shit of like, okay, like, all right, this is like people know me as XP, so it's a privilege for other people to know me as Joe, Joey, da da, you know. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, so you know, it's work, man. It's work, but I do feel blessed, man, to be able to have a name in it, stake a claim in it, and you know, be able to rap, dog, because this shit's not easy, man. You know,
Yeah.
rapping's not easy for
Yeah.
not for
Yeah.
everybody. You know,
That's for sure. But I want to make sure that people have a sense of, you know, because they hear us talking about the grind. But
right?
you truly, you know, people can go look at your catalog and they can go and do the knowledge and find the catalog even before, you know, what's just under XP when you were working in a group and all that stuff, right?
Facts,
The
bro.
legacy
Facts.
goes deep and
Super
especially
deep.
in LA, right?
Super deep.
But
Super deep.
but you know, ever since the most recent album that you dropped in the tour in Europe at the beginning of January, you know, you barely come home. You know what I'm saying? Like you was just in Milwaukee, right? You was just in Philly. You're in New York right now. Give people a sense of kind of where you've been at and what you've seen and the trajectory of what you've been doing over the last several
Well,
months.
yeah, man. Well, I left LA in November, and I went to Austin, and I built with all the homies in Austin. You know what? Rest in peace to my homie, a Big Mike. He was, you know, a staple in Austin hip hop. And it's crazy because the whole you know, the Punchline Academies, they're on tour right now, and
Yeah,
he was supposed to do the Austin run, but
yeah.
he passed away unfortunately. So they
Wow,
dedicated the show to the homie Big Mike, man. Rest in peace, dude. Super cool cat. He actually hooked me up with my first show in Austin. You know what I mean? So
wow.
super cool cat, legendary cat in the Austin scene. You know, had a lot more to do. He has a whole crew. He has a whole legacy that he built that I know him and his crew are gonna go and, you know, take it. You know, they went to, I think it was Australia recently, so they were already on their own thing, doing their thing too, man. You know, but yeah, man, I was in Austin. I was out there. I did a couple shows. Um,
Because
I
you did
built
like the
with
Purple Box, right?
the Purple
Like
Beat.
the live album thing.
The Purple Bee, yeah, man. And
That's
those
dope.
dudes, I think they need a crazier artist to be on that shit, bro. And that platform will be next level because it is next level. They're doing live to vinyl, you know, performances and offering
Yeah.
the listener a
That's
very
really
intimate,
special, man. That's
a
really
very
important.
special, bro. It's super special. I just feel like they're gonna get their time though. I feel like, you know,
Yeah.
once they, you know, once they reach a certain level, like it'll be that next shit, bro. Because
Yeah.
like no one's doing that live, so you know, and they're
Live the
offering
vinyl.
free, yeah, and they're doing they're offering you know, the performance where you could come check it out live. They're in the studio. They have a full bar, a kitchen. They're like, it's super sick, dog. It's like it's one of a kind. I can sit here and tell you about it because I'm so super hype about that spot, bro. Because I know it's
Yeah.
just
That
next level.
concept should be something, well, they should have it in LA for sure, right? But it should be something that pops up all over the place. They do limited 200 copies, right? And you pay $500 to watch it, $300 for the vinyl. It's super exclusive.
Super exclusive, bro. Like, just imagine, like, if you know, um, you know, a DJ Premier vinyl where he's like, okay, I'm gonna do a DJ set. You don't know what I'm gonna play, but I'm an artist to be like, you know, all the fans to be like, hey, I want you to play this, da 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 da, and then okay, I'm gonna, as the artist, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a live mixtape for these fools.
Yeah.
And if I want to be on some crazy shit, I'm gonna bring the artist that's actually on the fucking thing to do the live shit with me too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, kind of make it super intricate and bro, that shit would be crazy, bro. But
Yeah.
it's one of those platforms as well that I feel is in its novice stage, and like
Yeah.
I already did it. Flea Lord Asia did it, and I think a couple other homies too. But like I said, man, I feel like the homie Tyler, the one that curates everything, and he's the one that is like the hip hop aspect of the whole thing, because they bring in like other bands and shit too. But
Yeah.
this fool in particular, he's the super fan of like hip hop, and he knows,
Yeah.
so he's the one that's doing all that shit. I think once he gets to a space to be able to, you know, reach out to a DJ, a Alchemist, a DJ
Yeah.
Premier, one of these crazy artists, and put the platform on a different
Another
level.
pedestal.
Yeah, I think it'll just that shit
Yeah.
will go out of here, bro. But yeah, I was in Austin. I came to New York, went to Philly, did a couple things, boom, boom, and then that's when I went overseas, man. We went to Spain, we went to France, we went to Denmark, we were in Switzerland. Where else did we go? Yeah, I think that's it. But this time in particular, we stayed like a week to like a couple weeks in certain areas, bro. So it was super chill, like to be able to live in these areas, for like a week or
Yeah.
two to really
You
see
get a
what we
sense
do.
for the culture.
Bro, it was sick, bro. It was sick, man. Like you meet fools too that are like, you know, the weed man of the town, the
Yeah,
blah blah
yeah.
blah blah blah, the da 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 da. Fools are like, yo, here, wah, 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 wah. It's like you maneuver, dog. Like, and you know what? Rest in peace, Chino XL, bro. Like he told me straight up, he was like, bro, like there's a lot of fools in this game that are really sick with their pen and they're dope, but he's like they're assholes.
Yeah.
He's like, you man, he's like, you're cool and you're dope. And that shit's gonna get you hella far, bro. And I think that for
Yeah.
me has been my key to success. It's like I'm a cool ass cat and I write ill shit. So just
Yeah.
off that rip, like wherever I travel, fools, they fuck with me, fool. They want to chill with
Yeah.
me, they want to smoke with me, they want to just, be around me. And then from there it
Yeah.
just leads to other shit. So
That's so dope.
and but yeah, G, I think, this whole
Out of
tour.
those places, for the people stateside that aren't familiar, some people don't even realize how big of a hip hop scene and how much production and music and how much of the vinyl and the really good paying shows are coming
Right.
out of Europe, right?
That's a fact.
What can you share, like what places stood out to you? What places had like the best smoke? What places had the best
You
crowds?
know what, man?
What stands out that you can share with the folks?
So when we went to France, we did a lot of these smaller towns that, like,
Yeah.
usually when artists fly in, they go to the bigger, cities and
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
Paris or whatever.
Paris, Marseille.
Marseille, yeah. So we did all these small joints like Lille, Troyes, what else did we do? Oh, man, we did like at least, yeah, we did like 5 of these like little towns, bro. And I
Yeah.
think one of them in particular was one of the last ones we did. Shout out to my man Wax Trade, because he put together that last length of the tour, and there was this one particular town that's never had a hip hop show in it before, right?
That's so crazy.
They set up the stage for outside. So it's like an old French town with the bar like right in the middle of it. The stage is like crazy, and they went all out, bro. Like they had a sound man, the sound was ill, like everything was sick, and like I did the sound check, and my shit was just echoing through this small town in France that's never seen a hip hop show in their life. Maybe they traveled to go see some shit,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
to
but
have a
in the
hip hop show
town.
in that town, like in particular, they never had it, bro. And when my homie told me that shit, he's like, yeah, bro, like I talked to a couple of the people. They said this is the first time they ever had a hip hop show here in this town. I was like, that
That's
shit made me feel
crazy.
fucking crazy, bro. I was like, all right, well, these motherfuckers are gonna get a fucking show today. How about that? And bro, it was the most illest show because it was the only show that after it, like these fools were like, autograph my shirt, like, man, it was, it was like some soccer team shit, like,
Yeah,
oh shit, what, like it shit was crazy, man. The shit was
that's
like,
dope.
it was what dreams were made of, dog. It's like when you're a kid and you think about rapping. You don't know
Yeah,
the fucking the hard work and all the
yeah, you
shit
have no
that went
idea.
just to get to a space where you rock a show so hard where some fools like, I don't give a fuck how much I pay for this shirt, fool. I want you to autograph your name, like, blah, blah, you know what I mean? It's like that shit is a
Cross
different
Ralph
level.
Lauren out and put your name.
Facts, bro. And it's like it's crazy because you reach a certain level of like artistry where you have a fan, you know. It's like, you know, for years, bro, you know, it's just like your uncles and aunts and you know, you know, your family, your homies will, you know, they'll support you. But once you get fools like that are just randoms, like that are like, hey man, you know, I copped your vinyl, or you know, I did. It's like, you know, I traveled from all the way. You know, I seen everybody who was on there, but once I saw it was you, I came and you know, it, like
Yeah,
that type of shit. You're like, man, like this is why I do this shit, bro. This is why I
yeah,
do it. You know.
that's dope. That's
But
dope.
yeah, man. Yeah. So I forgot the name of the town, bro, because we hit so many little towns. But we went to Paris and we were over there for like a couple weeks, bro. So we were,
Wow,
you know, and we were creating some crazy shit in like a catacomb studio that was like underground. And then you went to the
that's
restroom and there
wild.
was another tunnel that went even further down.
That's too crazy.
Motherfuckers
That
were
feels the
not trying
real
to.
underground.
Fools were down there, bro. I can't front, man. Fools were underground like a motherfucker. You know, fools loved it.
No, France got some dope hip hop, man. I know a lot about French hip hop, and
Nah,
they
man,
got a serious scene.
their shit is crazy, man. And I met a
Yeah,
lot of like straight up legends, you know, that were,
yeah,
you know, legends that were, you know, the pioneers of the French hip hop scene, you know,
yeah,
a lot of ill cats, bro. You know, and they embraced me. I was actually able to be a part of like a panel too that they did for the kids,
wow,
where like they watched NWA
yeah,
and they kind of had like an artist that was more of like the Public Enemy type, that was more like, you know,
yeah,
fight the power, but
yeah.
on like a peaceful level. But then there was another artist that was a
More
French artist
street.
that more street, more like, you
Yeah,
know, he's all about the hood hustle type shit. And so they did a panel where they were asking us questions like, okay, like where do you see the, you know, the gangster rap stuff heading, you know, after this, you know, because you
yeah.
know, like it influences the youth, it does this, it does that. What are the positives? What are the negatives? Like what can we expect as you know, society, where this
Yeah,
is
because I
going?
mean, in
You
a
know?
sense, for them, eh, in actuality, but also from their perspective, you're kind of from the future, right? Like you're from LA, where gang culture is born, gangster rap was born,
Facts,
and
facts.
it's this period of time, and you're going, and they're maybe experiencing some kind of cruise, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
It's
what impact does this have?
yeah, yeah. So, and then ultimately, you know, what I had to say about it was like, you know, you guys are here now. You guys are watching an NWA movie. You know, that's pretty much what it is, man. You
Yeah,
know, these individuals were able to utilize pretty much what they were given, you
yeah,
know, and use it as the fuel to their flame, you know, to
yeah,
get them out of the hood. And it just so happens that they were speaking about what they were living, you know,
yeah,
and as crude and as harsh as that shit is, it's what it is, you know.
yeah.
And so, you know, when you have the opposite end of a coin, you know, there's always the heads and the tails, but you're only, you know, exposing the heads all the time. And then you see the tails, you're like, hey, like, what the fuck? I didn't, you know, like, that's what they were doing, you know what I mean? And they were able
Yeah.
to utilize their you know, all the shit that was up against them, you know, the gangs, the violence, and utilize it, put it
Facts.
on records. And now look at you guys are here in the theater watching it. They're successful. They were able to put their kids through college, maybe their grandkids through college, through this art form that you guys
Nah,
are
and
calling gangster rap.
what's
You know,
crazy is Ice Cube went into movies. That's his son, right? Dr. Dre kept making music. Those beats by Dre, that's him.
that's
Other
it.
people, maybe they had less success. Not everybody's gonna be the same, right?
Right, right.
But
But
people
the
made it
fact that,
out.
like, you know, there was one point where, you know, because it was even a thing where, like, you know, Public Enemy was looked at in like a negative light because they were
For sure.
about, you know, fight oppression and everything. So I think everything
Yeah.
has its odds, and you know, it's like you're gonna do something, stir up the pot. I think you're gonna get some eyes. You're gonna catch some
Yeah.
fucking, you know, some, you know, some, you know, type of flack for that shit. But if you believe in what you
And
believe
make
in
good
ultimately,
music too, bro. Rage
and
Against the Machine. You know what I'm saying? Like
bro,
you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta
that's what I'm.
shake it up.
You have to, man. And so just being able to be a part of discussions like that and like helping the youth. I think it motivated me to do more of that. Like if there's any of
Yeah,
those opportunities to you know tell my story and everything like that, because ultimately I think every artist has a warrior story. It's just all
yeah,
about if you're able to get it off before you leave this earth. You know what I mean? Whether it's through art or your beats or whatever.
yeah,
And I think being able to be blessed to be heard for me is also one of those things that now that I'm in this space has helped me to keep going, because like a lot of this shit that I'm letting people know in my music is real shit, whether I'm
yeah,
going through it, my friends going through it, like I went through it. And I think ultimately, man, utilizing all that hurt, that pain and everything and turning it into a positive is just like NWA. It's like they were
yeah,
just letting fools know what was happening around
yeah,
their way. And they were able to be successful through it. And
yeah,
I think that's what we all want as artists too. We want to be able to tell people our story and give people ourselves, be accepted, and ultimately be able to wake up in the morning and just be able to live off of your craft, your art, and who you are. All the pain, all the shit is like, hey, dog, it led up to this. I'm able to wake
yeah,
up and I'm able to feed my family with this art shit that I was able to. So I think that's what it really is about with this shit, with me at least. But man, Europeans love this shit. They
yeah. They
support
do.
it. They buy it. They're at the shows, and I think the more you go there as an artist, the more you're gonna create your own ecosystem too. So
Yeah,
you got to get out there, man.
that's dope.
All these fools, yeah,
The the European producer No Games that you just did the album with, and he helped you with the new one, the Barter System. You mentioned that you guys kind of like cooked a little something up, right? There's like a little EP. Maybe you could share with us what you got coming next, right? Because you've been on this incredible run, but you've been cooking, you've been taking
yeah,
some
yeah.
time out and visiting studios. What is XP planning next?
Well, I have another album with Ice Rocks, which is cooked already. That's pretty much ready to go. Just waiting for mixing and mastering. I also have another producer from the German side of Switzerland,
Yeah.
and his name's Sternis, and he's super incredible with his shit. But I have a whole project with him, waiting for the
Wow.
mixing and mastering. And then while I'm here, I've been cooking up some shit. And I think this year, what I really want to do is I want to show people me rapping over my own shit, and
Yeah,
just
because you were
and
releasing instrumentals and you were numbering your instrumentals. I was checking them out, right? I was like, number
yeah,
17, number
yeah, yeah.
18.
It's just like I mean, I think I've always created instrumentals, and I've always had a good ear for loops and
Yeah,
beats. But I feel like creative wise, I think that's where my creativity ends, is because I feel like I already created the beat and I've already put creative
yeah.
energy into it. That
And
now
some other people are so good too. So the homie sends you, No Game sends you a pack and you're like, let me
that's what I'm
think about
saying,
these
bro.
songs.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. I don't know what it is. It's a personal thing, but that's what I want to do this year. Is I want to
That's
get over
dope.
that hurdle of like not sharing that aspect of who I am, because I think if individuals hear me rap over shit that I can make, they'll be like, okay, they'll probably approach working with me a little different and be like, hey, like he makes his own beat, so I know that if I come with some shit, the shit got to be tight, because if I
Yeah.
like what he's doing and he's cooking up, then it has to be a little bit. But I think ultimately, not everybody can create their own instrumentals and
Yeah,
rap
no.
over it, and that
Yeah,
shit be
no.
dope. So
Yeah.
I want to showcase that whole aspect of who I am this year. I want to. So that while I'm here, I'm gonna cook that up, and I got access to like a few labs out here, so I be in and
But
out, man.
you got beats already, like that you produced.
I got shit. I got match. And then also too, what I want to do is I want to produce for other fools too this year. Like, you know,
Right.
I want to start seeing, you know, my name on some, you know, producer shit too, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I think this year is a year for, you know, the Marxman to really let fools know what I have, man, cuz I feel like, I mean, a lot of people say it like I'm a humble champ, dog. You know, I'm not out here saying, "Oh, I'm this, I'm the best. I did this, I did that." I just let the work speak. But that's what I want to do. I want to let this work speak for itself and let fools know, "Oh, this fool, he could cook beats and he could do this and that." You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's that year, you know, to let motherfuckers know what you do, and not just myself though, but everybody. Like,
Yeah.
let that fucking album that you had there, what you're waiting for. I don't know what you're waiting for. Neither do I. But I got mad. Like, let that shit rock, bro. You got
Yeah.
this shit just sitting there. Like, you're just waiting for one little aspect to it, or you're waiting for one foot. Don't wait on nobody. Get it out, fool. You know, like, now's that year, I feel, dog. Because I feel like there's a lot of sick shit just waiting in fools' laptops and in their hard drives, and
Yeah.
shit
Facts.
ain't coming out, dog. You know, and that's for all the homies. Like, I see all the homies, homie Orlando, I see Primo, the homie Cash, I see all the homies. Like, let's release all that shit, man. You know,
Yeah.
and then me personally, I also want to do a lot of shit that, you know, I kind of just wasn't in the space to handle at that time. Like, so a lot of shit that, you know, is on the back burner. I feel you gotta bring that shit back out and cook that motherfucker up again and serve it up, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. My brother, as we start to wrap up, a couple of fun questions just to let people know, you know, a little bit more about you.
for sure.
You're from LA, from the West Coast. You're in New York right now. Who got the better smoke?
Oh, come on, dog. Come
Is it
on,
even close?
dog.
Is it even close?
I mean, if you're smoking on some good shit out here, bro, you're that shit's from California, dog. I mean, these foods. I mean, there's some shit out here. Like,
Sure, of course,
I've tried
yeah.
some New York tree. You know, like
And
they got
New York and cats on the East Coast. I'm an East Coast cat. You know what I'm saying? Are
right,
crafty.
right,
You know they're
right,
crafty. You
right,
know what I'm saying?
right, 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 right.
But there's something about the soil. You know?
You know what it is, man. I mean, you know, at this point, you know, I feel like anywhere I've traveled, like even overseas, bro, fools will, you know, pop out an eighth and be like, "This shit's $60. This shit's from
Everything's
Cali.
hash in Europe. In
This
Europe,
this shit's
everything's
from
hash,
Cali."
bro.
I'm like, bro, like, oh shit, these fools are on that shit out here too. Like, anywhere you go, somebody says, "Oh, this is from Cali." It's like the elite, you know. It's like, but I get it, bro. You know, like I get it, you know. But yeah, bro, I gotta say, you know, no matter where I travel, dog, the best weed is always gonna be home. It's always gonna be
Yeah,
LA, bro. You know, cheap
yeah,
prices, quality. You know,
yeah.
that's it.
That's dope. That's dope, my brother. Any shows, any upcoming events? You've been doing a media blitz. Anything you want to make sure that people know about that you got coming up, or anything that you maybe did recently that you want them to check out?
Yeah, well, shit, man. Check out that barter system. Check out, see how she runs. You know, those are the most recent joints. You know, if you haven't checked them out, check them out. I got a show in Lynn, Massachusetts this weekend. So anybody in Mass, come through, come check us out. That shit got a crazy lineup. A couple of the homies from Feed the Family, Hidden Character. There's gonna be some ill MCs in there. And honestly, man, I'm just gonna be here in New York, just cooking up, dog, and eating some pasta. You
Yeah,
know,
getting
eating
some
some
pizza, bro.
pasta, eating some pizza and shit. You know. But yeah, G. You know, honestly, man, I think I'm not. I'm not shooting aimlessly, but I do have some key things that, like I said, like, you know, that's, you know, the project that I'm gonna release, you know, with my own beats. I want to produce for other people, and then, like I said, I want to also hop on shit that other fools and, you know, we discuss. So there's a lot of cleaning the house I have to do because, like I said,
Yeah,
I've been on the road. I've been doing a lot of shit and pretty much, you know, performing and um, doing the promotion for shit that's already out. So now I kind of got to clean house and get
yeah,
shit situated, kind of get, you know, shit in order
yeah.
because there's shit kind of everywhere. But once I have everything lined up, man, more projects, more vinyl, more
Yeah,
tours, you know, all that good shit, more health, all that shit, man, you know.
that's beautiful.
But yeah, brother, that's pretty much what it is, man. You know, more shows and more blessings, dog. You know, that's
That's
it.
dope, my brother. That's dope. You got a
Straight up.
line I posted as one of the promo, the joint you did with Kirster, the good fight, and you got a line on there where you say, um, you say something to the effect of like, not sure if you're gonna cook another pie, but in the meanwhile, you cook another pie. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That
exactly,
line
yeah,
is so
exactly,
dope.
exactly,
Anybody who's ever put any music together can relate to what you're
yeah,
saying.
exactly,
The
bro.
how hard it is to do it, to finish it, then to ship it, and then the questions to come after you do it, but then you do it again,
Fuck
and
it.
that's where you
Still cook
at. You know what
another
I'm
pot,
saying?
bro. Still cook another pot, bro. That's exactly what that line is, bro. It's like, you know, and yeah, bro. I think that's what it is. It's all about longevity with this shit. It's all about the consistency, man. And that's
Yeah,
one thing I've noticed about people who reach true success is they were like, I didn't quit. I
yeah,
was consistent. Like
yeah,
if there's any blueprints of success, that's it.
yeah,
That's it, bro. And they're telling you that shit. They're like, I just didn't give up and I just kept going. And
yeah.
that's hard, dog. That shit's hard, man. This shit is
Bro,
hard.
you
You know,
gotta be
it's not easy.
artistic with it, bro.
You gotta
Full
be fucking
retard. You
crazy
gotta
with it.
go full
You gotta
retard.
go crazy with it,
Like
bro.
you gotta be the craziest.
You
The
got to, bro.
craziest.
You got to, man. And there's gonna be those certain moments and instances where you're looking at it and you're like, man, fuck. But at the same time, it's like, you know,
Yeah,
it's a part of your identity, man. And at the end of the day, we do this shit because we love it, you know. And like I said, your idea of success isn't the next man. So
yeah.
quit looking at the next man, homie, and get to work, dog. You know, that's it. That's what I gotta
That's
tell
good.
everybody. Quit looking at the next man and get to work, dog. You know,
That's
that's it.
good, brother.
Drop some shit this year, man.
That's
You
good, my
know.
brother. My
But I
bro, it's
appreciate
an
you, man.
honor. It's an
Appreciate you,
honor,
man.
brother.
Hopefully
It's an
talk to
honor.
you, you know what I'm saying, in you know, a year or two or who knows, man. Maybe some
Yeah,
crazy
bro.
shit
Like
will
I
pop
never
off, you
planned
know
it
what I mean?
out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never. Like you're so prolific. You know what I'm saying? That like it could be like soon. You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
I'm saying. I mean, I hope
You know what I'm
so, man.
saying,
Hopefully,
brother? It's an honor to build with you. The like you're on fire right now, man. You're on fire right
thank
now.
you,
Don't
bro.
stop, brother.
Appreciate you.
Just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Just pace
We
that
keep
shit the way you
firing,
do,
bro.
and you
We keep
just
firing.
crushing it.
I appreciate you, my brother. Always a pleasure to build with you, man. Peace to everybody in the chat, all my brothers, man. You know, all the homies. Keep shooting me hoes, you know. Keep
Yeah,
fucking going, homie. Every day, one day at a time, one moment at a time. Let's go, baby, all day.
beautiful,
Mijo
my brother.
out, you know.
The big mijo, salute.
Yes, sir. Peace, brothers.
Peace,
I'll
my
see
bro.
y'all fools soon.
Peace, my bro.
All right, G. Peace.